All right, welcome to episode 53 of the Ridiculously Lame Wrestling Show. We're going to be going over AEW Full Gear, live from the Prudential Center in New Jersey. The build to this show was absolutely terrible. I think that was pretty much a universal opinion, besides, a diehard AEW fan. Anyone who's just a casual AEW fan or loves wrestling, just has fallen out of love with AEW, would agree that the build to this show sucked. But like every AEW pay-per-view, the show itself delivered. I thought this show tonight was good. It had some very, very good moments, had some head-scratching moments as well, including the overbooked, ridiculous ending. But as always, we're going to go over the show from beginning to end, segment by segment. And if you have not subscribed and you're watching this video, please do so. Please subscribe. Would greatly appreciate it. But let's go over. Well, first, I'll give a shout-out to Big Boom AJ. I was crapping all over the Costco guys. I just don't understand. I said that I understand the promotion of it. I understand why they're doing it. I just don't enjoy it. It's not for me, but it's not a huge deal to me. But I thought he was great tonight in his match against QT Marshall. The Rizzler got a huge pop. Big Justice hit a spear on QT Marshall. That match actually delivered. It was like I tuned in to see if that was going to be a train wreck on the 0 hour. It wasn't. That match was actually very good. So props to Big Boom AJ, Big Justice, and the Rizzler. They won. Of course they won. And that was a fun way to end the kickoff show. The opening match of the night of the main card, the pay-per-view. Private Party defended their AEW tag titles against the Outrunners, Kings of the Black Throne, and the Acclaimed. This match was fine. Went about 15 minutes, and Private Party won. There was nothing really. The only thing I took away from this match, Kings of the Black Throne were barely featured, and the Acclaimed were teasing a breakup the entire second half of the match, and it ruined it. It just was not. That wasn't a thing to do in the opening match. They didn't start the show off right. It didn't start off with a ton of momentum. It was Max Caster and Anthony Bowens bickering about what moves to hit, teasing a breakup. Nobody really cared, and eventually Private Party hit Max Caster with the gin and juice to win and retain the titles. They weren't going to take the titles off of Private Party, right after giving them to him, and nobody else in this match, maybe besides the Outrunners, had any popularity or any momentum or any reaction. Kings of the Black Throne are just a decent thrown together tag team, but I don't know, maybe I'm speaking for myself. I'd much rather see Malachi Black and Brody King as single stars, including Buddy Murphy or Buddy Matthews too. Just break it up, end House of Black at this point. But Private Party are still your AEW tag team champions. After this match, Orange Cassidy cut a promo. He said tonight we will send a message back. He's speaking on behalf of All Elite Wrestling. AEW sends a message back. Cassidy stated that AEW means everything to him, and without AEW, he wouldn't exist. Private Party wouldn't exist, but Moxley doesn't need AEW. So it was a decent promo. He said, we're going to, tonight I'm going to take the power back and take back the symbol that represents us all, the AEW World Championship. The second match of the night, MJF versus Roderick Strong. Before the bell, MJF grabs the microphone. He says that people like Strong because he's just like them, white trash. He calls New Jersey the dumpster fire of the world. And he also called AEW a dog shit company during this promo. He said he was making millions filming movies while Strong's mama was shooting his daddy. So another reference to that. Roderick Strong's mother legitimately shooting his father when he was 12 years old or 11 years old, whatever. He didn't die. They're both alive. They're both addicts, and they overcame it. But this match, MJF versus Roderick Strong, for the horrible build it had, for me not caring at all, for MJF not being in attendance for weeks, the entire build to this pay-per-view made this Full Gear feel secondary, just with MJF not there, and for some reason Adam Cole and Roderick Strong had to jump through hoops just to get a singles match against MJF with no titles on the line. That logic makes no sense. How we got here was terrible, but the match itself was pretty damn good. The match itself was pretty damn good because Roderick Strong, once the bell rings, he's tremendous. He's tremendous, but after that, when you get to the promo part of it, he's not that great. But once the bell rang, this was great. Strong got his ass kicked early, battled back with his, patented backbreakers. Nobody hits a backbreaker like Roderick Strong. But during the match, Strong hurt his hand. MJF was targeting his hand, and he ended up locking in the salt of the earth and bending his hand, and Strong just had to tap out. So MJF picked up the win. After the match, he gets a steel chair. He puts it on Strong's arm. He poses and then stomps on it. Adam Cole, after the fact, rushes to the ring with Undisputed Kingdom. After the fact, they were ample opportunity to rush to the ring and stop this, but they didn't. So Strong gets his arm smashed in the chair. Kyle O'Reilly shows up again, shoves Adam Cole to the mat, basically blaming Roderick Strong, and rightfully so. Where the hell were you? If you're just sitting back there, why not run to the ring before he stomps on his hand? So I like that by Kyle O'Reilly. But then again, Kyle O'Reilly didn't come down to the ring and help Roderick Strong either and, save the day. So I don't really care about Kyle O'Reilly versus Roderick Strong. Kyle O'Reilly versus Adam Cole. That's probably going to happen at World's End. We'll see. But this match, storyline aside, which was awful, the match itself delivered. It was a good match. Good to see MJF back. Hopefully he's back now. Hopefully he's not going away for another month to finish the movie. I have no idea, but hopefully he's back for a build towards World's End. TBS Championship match. Mercedes Moné versus Kris Statlander. This was another case of the build to this match absolutely stunk. Mercedes Moné as the TBS champion has been terrible, has not made a difference at all. No reaction. She debuted at Big Business in April. Huge face of the company, it seemed like. Couple weeks later, everybody was over it. So it's just been a disastrous run for Mercedes Moné and AEW so far. But tonight was the best match in the company so far, in my opinion. I don't think it's even close. And Statlander was great in this match as well. Back and forth. I'm not going to go over this match move by move. Mercedes Moné went for about 8,000 meteors in this match. And finally, Statlander countered into a powerbomb. It was a bit of a clunky finish. Statlander went for the Saturday Night Fever, but Moné countered and kind of slammed her neck into the middle rope and rolled her up. It was a bit of clunky finish, but Moné was kicking out of F10s. Statlander kicked out of several backstabbers or bank statement, not the bank stab, but just the backstabber. The bank statement is her submission move. Statlander was locked in that too, but she didn't tap out. It ended with a roll up. It was a very, very good match. It was my match of the night. I think. That was my match of the night. Just overall, I thought this match, just when coming in, the expectations coming into this match and how it delivered just blew me away. I blew my expectations out of the water. I did not see this match coming, did not see it being this great, but it's just a reminder when you take away the crappy booking and see the talent, Kris Statlander and Mercedes Moné are great in the ring. And it's just frustrating. Again, the weekly television is not good enough, but once you get to the pay-per-view, it's excellent. If you could just improve that weekly television, we'd have something here. Now, another match I got dead wrong. It was Hangman Page versus Jay White. I thought they were going to do this to have Hangman Page win this match. That was not the case. Jay White picked up the victory in an excellent match. An excellent match. Right on par with Moné and Kris Statlander, in my opinion. Just back-to-back. The middle of this card was excellent. And Hangman Page just beat the shit out of Jay White for the majority of the match, but he couldn't put him away. He went for the buckshot, but Jay White countered into a Blade Runner out of nowhere. And after the match, Hangman tried to attack Jay White. He got in some shots, but eventually it was broken up. So Hangman Page is still a heel, but that was not the last time we'd see Hangman Page or Jay White tonight, if you can believe it. They got involved later on at the closing part of the show, but this match itself delivered. I was worried that they were going to do 1-1, because Hangman Page lost to Jay White at Wrestle Dream or whatever the last pay-per-view was called. Hangman Page lost to Jay White, and I figured they were going to do, give Hangman Page's win back tonight and then have the rubber match at World's End. Well, there's no reason to have a third match in the series because Jay White defeated him again tonight and looked to be the better man. It looks like he's rising, and I'm believing that they're going to push him to be a star. So I don't want to see Jay White losing another match for a while. Let's push him, because you got the stink off of what you did to him last year. It's gone now, so let's make him into a star again. Let's try it again, and I'm down for it. I'm here for it because Jay White's a phenomenal talent. I like Hangman Page too. Like I said, I'm a CM Punk guy, but Hangman Page is great. He shined tonight. I'm glad he took the loss, because it helped Jay White tremendously, and we don't need a third match. We don't need this feud to continue. We can see things go in a different direction. We got that hinted at the end of the show. But this middle section here, Kyle Fletcher versus Will Ospreay, Don Callis on commentary. This middle section of the pay-per-view is excellent. Ospreay hit a Styles Clash during this match. Out of nowhere, we got Kyle Fletcher hitting tombstone pile drivers left and right. One on the outside of the ring looked ridiculous. Fletcher kept going for the Tiger Driver during this match, but couldn't hit it. But he wound up hitting Ospreay with a brain buster across the top turnbuckle. Looked epic for the pinfall victory. He didn't need a cheat to win. He just won. He targeted Ospreay's weaknesses during this match and just won. Goes to attack after the match. Mark Davis rushes the ring. He's in this flashy jacket. I'm thinking he's going to be turning heel. No, he's just helping Will Ospreay up. But Kyle Fletcher needed this win. I predicted he would get this win. Ospreay is the type of guy to give Fletcher this win because he's already over to help somebody else become a star, and this was a big win for Fletcher. It was the biggest win he's had in AEW, and the future is bright for Fletcher if they do it right, because tonight was a huge step. It's a big win for Kyle Fletcher, and I thought this match delivered. Jack Perry, the scapegoat, defended the TNT title against Daniel Garcia tonight. Jack Perry comes to the ring in a literal goat mask. Again, I like his entrance music. I'll give him that. This match, there was CM Punk chants at the beginning of this match that were drowned out. I'm glad that they don't need to have CM Punk chants now at this point. Jack Perry, he's fun. This character is done to me. I'm over it because of what else is there besides he's the scapegoat for the CM Punk incident. That's the whole character. But he lost the title tonight. He lost the TNT Championship to Daniel Garcia. Made sense. Daniel Garcia finally, he signed that new contract. They're not going to give him a loss here. Hopefully he has this TNT title for a long time. But it was just a brutal match, back and forth. Nothing really special, just physical. Jack Perry, at the end of the, daring Garcia. There's a lot of that tonight. Just, come on, hit me. Like a lot of these, like, standing up, chop, back and forth, hit me, come on, things that they do in every single match. But in the end, Daniel Garcia wound up picking up the victory with a pile driver and then a Texas cloverleaf and then bridged, and Jack Perry tapped out in the middle of the ring. So Daniel Garcia is the new TNT champion. We'll see how it goes. But this match was good. A match that I was severely disappointed with was Konosuke Takeshita versus Ricochet for the International Championship. Ricochet's just been a case study of weird booking since he arrived in AEW. His tantrums on social media haven't helped. And this match, total spot fest galore. And just the crowd, there's no energy. And they kept trying to, give Ricochet hope spots. He's coming back. Oh, he's coming back. But there was never anybody really invested in Ricochet coming back at all. But in the end, Takeshita gets the win to retain. Like I said, nothing special. Ricochet's run in AEW has been really weird to me. It's like they already gave away the Will Ospreay match, and now we can't beat Takeshita. Like, are you going to give him an AEW championship run soon out of nowhere? Or is he, like, what? Because he other than that, he's on just getting dangerously close. He's already pretty much one of the guys, just one of the guys on the show. He's just a guy, already, which is remarkable. Maybe if they get Samantha Irvin in there with him, I don't know. I've just been disappointed with Ricochet and AEW. And this match was, again, decent, but if it happened on Collision or Dynamite, would have been just as, it would have been the same thing. It wasn't anything special is what I'm trying to say, is I fumble all over myself because I'm just disappointed in this match because Takeshita's great and Ricochet is one of the best in the world in the ring, and just this was a letdown to me. Bobby Lashley versus Swerve Strickland. This match was decent. Jim Ross joined commentary. This is the second to last match of the night. Great to hear good old JR on commentary. Add some gravitas to the occasion. This match was fine. MVP and Shelton Benjamin kept getting involved. The referee eventually caught it and kicked Shelton out from ringside. Swerve Strickland takes control. He hits the house call. It's a double stomp. Then the action spills out of the ring. Lashley spears Strickland through the barricade. Then back in the ring, locks in the Hurt Lock, and Strickland doesn't tap out. He passes out. So how that match ends. Prince Nana gets in the ring to check on Strickland. They beat the hell out of Nana, leave them both laying in the ring. There was no way in hell you could give Lashley a loss I keep wanting to say in his debut match in AEW, but the history books will remember Bobby Lashley defeated Cheeseburger and Joe Keys on the November 21st episode of Dynamite or whatever it was. But this is his second match. You cannot give Lashley a loss in his second match in AEW. This man needs to go undefeated for 20 matches to build him up. He could be an AEW champion sooner rather than later. Why the hell not? He looks great. The Hurt Syndicate look great. Their presentation in AEW has just been very well done so far. I'm pleasantly pleased with how the Hurt Syndicate look. They are the most imposing faction on the roster to me over the Death Riders. I think the Hurt Syndicate are, more dangerous. At least they're attacking people that matter and not J.D. Drake and Chuck Taylor and Brandon Cutler. But yes, Bobby Lashley gets the win. And then we get to the main event. Jon Moxley defended his AEW World Championship against Orange Cassidy. This match, like every match on this card, there's something ridiculous happens early. Cassidy's busted open right away. Paradigm shift onto the steel steps outside the ring. Cassidy's busted open. One of the things I hate the most about AEW is that they'll be fighting outside the ring for like 2 to 3 minutes, and then it'll cut to the referee, and he goes, 2! Like he's just starting his count, like Rick Knox, whoever, all these referees, they'll be just starting their count like 2 minutes after they go outside the ring. If it happened once in a while, it wouldn't be a big deal at all. But every match they go outside the ring, and they're fighting outside the ring for minutes. It's just repetitive, and there's like 48,000 pile drivers on the show, but I'm not complaining about the show overall. It was very good. It was worth the money if you spent $50. I did, just to support this, because I don't want AEW to fail in any way. It is at the moment to be on television, but when they get to the pay-per-views, they deliver. They know how to put on a damn good pay-per-view. But Moxley's busted open. Cassidy's busted open early. Moxley's biting his head during this match. Sick. JR even goes, "Oh my God, that's disgusting." It was. He kept biting him, and he's biting his hands like a psychopath. They do the trading shot spots again. Cassidy's wobbling, but he's doing, come on. So they do this every match. Moxley's obliging. They're hitting each other with forearms to the face, back and forth. Cassidy battled back. He hits an orange punch and a beach break for a near fall out of nowhere. Death Riders, Claudio Castagnoli and Pac show up. Referee just does nothing at all. He's just pointing at them. Just useless referee. The Conglomeration joined the party. They, nice to see them help a stablemate. They show up and attack. Rocky Romero. Of course, if you had Rocky Romero hitting a splash off the top rope onto the Death Riders on your bingo card during the main event of AEW Full Gear, congratulations. I sure the hell didn't. What the hell is Rocky Romero doing in the main event? But he was there. Willow Nightingale showed up and returned to attack Marina Shafir. Cassidy hits Moxley with a case over the head. Huge near fall here. Great pop. The crowd totally thought that this was the end of the match and thought Cassidy was going to win. I will say, there was the packed house tonight at the Prudential Center, and Dynamite, the past few weeks, it sounded like a library. The crowd tonight in New Jersey, for the most part, there were some parts where it seemed like they were dead, but for the most part, they were into this, and they brought it in the main event. And the near fall here, the false finish with the crowds going crazy was expertly done here. But in the end, Moxley distracted the referee, and Wheeler Yuta interfered, and then the attacked Cassidy while the referee wasn't looking, which just is hilarious with all the shit that's gone on. They got to distract the referee so Wheeler Yuta can get involved, but technically, I guess, he would have been disqualified if the referee saw it, but, Moxley and Cassidy should have been disqualified 188,000 other times during this match. But Wheeler Yuta interferes. Moxley hits the paradigm shift, Death Rider, whatever it's called, the giant DDT for the pinfall victory. After the match, they go to attack. Hangman Page shows up. He's limping. He's selling the injuries from his Jay White match, and he just bashes Wheeler Yuta with a chair shot, not over the head, but he had holding the top of the chair, and he just hit him in the face with his hand, but it looked like he hit him with a chair. Moxley's just totally befuddled. Christian Cage shows up. He's got that Money in the Bank contract, whatever they're calling it. When he has can cash in for a title match at any time. Essentially, the Money in the Bank contract. He's going to cash in. Hangman Page leaves the ring. He's like, all right, go ahead, take the title from him. But Jay White shows up and attacks Christian Cage, and I think that's how it's going to end. Jay White's leaving. Everybody's leaving. It's clunky. It's going on for like a minute, and we're watching the Death Riders limp around. Then we cut to them backstage. They're going to their car. All of a sudden, a car comes out of nowhere and slams into their pickup truck, and it's Darby Allin. So they give Claudio Castagnoli's grabbing a key from the valet thing, and they take someone else's car to drive away and escape Darby Allin. The pay-per-view goes off the air with Darby Allin busted open from crashing in. Somehow he busted himself open, stumbling out of this car wreckage in his pink giant jacket. And then he starts bashing the Death Riders truck with his skateboard and screaming as Full Gear goes off the air. I'm sure there's an eventful press conference going on right now. But that was AEW Full Gear. Overall, I enjoyed the show. I thought the ending was insane. Like an insane person wrote how this pay-per-view went off the air. It's like they had 14 ideas how to close the show, and they said, let's just go with every single one of them. It's unbelievable. But overall, Jon Moxley against Hangman Page interests me. Jon Moxley against Jay White interests me. Jon Moxley against Christian Cage is interesting, but they're both heels at the moment. Jon Moxley against Orange Cassidy just at the end of the day didn't interest me enough during Dynamite, during the weekly television. The build to how we got here. If this show, imagine if we just watched this same show with a proper, well-done build for the month and a half leading up to this show. If we got a well-done build, if maybe you enjoyed certain segments more than I did on Dynamite during this build, but I thought for the most part it left a lot to be desired. At the end of the day, AEW delivers on its pay-per-views, and they delivered another good show tonight. It's all about, though, how they follow it up on Dynamite, because hopefully there'll be some buzz coming out of the show, and hopefully some more people tune in on Dynamite. You need to make sure you have that show ready to go, opening hot, with a banger of a segment on Wednesday night at 8 o'clock right away. I don't want to see November Rain again, a recap package with November Rain and Guns N' Roses after Full Gear. I want to see something epic to open Dynamite, but coming off of this show, because I thought it delivered. I haven't looked at the consensus of what other people are saying, but I thought it was a good show. I thought the in-ring work was great, as always, in AEW, especially on pay-per-views, but some unnecessary risks throughout these matches, and every match outside the ring, referee not counting, the every match for, trading shots, you come on, like, all right, like mix it up a little bit. But other than that, I'm just rambling here. It was a good show, and I'm excited about Dynamite, and I just really want them to deliver a good episode of Dynamite. I don't want to be coming on here Wednesday night again and just pissed that they couldn't follow up a good pay-per-view with a good episode of Dynamite. But that is it for this episode of the Ridiculously Lame Wrestling Show. Again, if you have not subscribed, please do so, and we'll see you guys on the next episode. Have a good one.